So we just got in the car here. We're gonna go for a little drive. Seatbelts on for safety. Crank it up here. Been over to the produce market. Had to get a head of cabbage. Turn that off. Phone's ringing, of course. Why wouldn't it be? We go for a little cruise here in our EcoBoost Performance Pack car. Hit this massive pothole. That's nice. Of course, the first thing we're going to do is come up to a stoplight, but that gives me an opportunity to go ahead and put it in Sport Plus mode, because to me, Sport Plus on this car is essentially the only mode you need to leave it in. I think normal mode is just too tame. Sport Plus seems to crisp up the steering, suspension, and throttle exactly to where it needs to be. We'll just go out on the back road here. Thing runs pretty good. So what do we got here? It's 2020 EcoBoost High Performance Pack Mustang with the suspension package on it as well. The suspension package requires you to get the higher performance package, so you can't get it as a standalone option on this car. So let's just run down through what you get on each thing. So the high performance package gives you basically a Focus RS engine with a 63mm turbocharger and a larger radiator and some styling cues. The suspension package, of course, gives you suspension, the MagneRide suspension, plus stickier summer tires. They're Pirellis. They're not the super aggressive tires that you're going to get with the Mustang GT Performance Pack Level 2 suspensions, but you know, they're serviceable. They're way better than your standard Pirelli tire that comes on just your regular EcoBoost Mustangs and base model Mustang GTs. We also have the brakes from the Mustang GT. We have active exhaust system. There's a lot of stuff. So it's basically all the best parts of, say, a Performance Pack or Performance Pack Level 2 Mustang GT, but just toned down a little bit. They're not giving you the super sticky, super wide tires on the amazing looking wheels that come with the Performance Pack Level 2 GT, but you're getting about an 85% of that package. It's not bad, but it's definitely not full tilt. So what you do really get that's nice, and wow, the water is up out here quite a bit. What is really nice is the 63mm turbocharger. So on your base EcoBoost engines, you get that about a 5% smaller turbo, and really the ride is over on that thing at about 5,000 RPMs. I had one, I modded it, it was a lot of fun, but at $5,000 the ride was over. This one will pull all the way out to 6,500. Let's drop her down into second here and ride it out. And there was 6,500. And normally at $5,000 it would have just been making noise at that point, but now the turbo makes a big difference. As far as the exhaust system goes, this is probably the best sounding exhaust system I've seen on an EcoBoost. I had the full Cook's exhaust system on mine, and it was loud at times. This, with the active exhaust system, you go through your modes. If you want it quiet, you can have it quiet. If you want it to make some noise, it makes a nice noise. So basically as good as you're going to get out of your four-cylinder Mustang, unless you just like loud four-cylinder noises, and then I don't know what you're doing in a Mustang if you do. Suspension wise, it's very nice, tight handling. The steering is very, very good. Ford has really dialed in this electronic steering on these cars. Something bad, the shifter is, I can't believe an MT82 shifter got worse, but this is the worst one I've been in. I haven't been in a Mustang with a worse shifter than this one. I don't know what they've done to it. Maybe it's just this particular car, because I think it has been beat on by the press quite a bit. I think we have 8,400 miles. There's a definite clunk in the transmission now, so it may just be this car, but this shifter is terrible. You would have to have an MT82 if you had this car. some more good things. So you get the, wow, I am going to have to pull you guys over there and let you see what the boat landing looks like right now, because we are flooding around here. Some more good things you get. Mustang GT brakes. So you get the bigger 13.9-inch rotors with 4-piston Akebono calipers. The big thing though, because I had that same setup on my EcoBoost Performance Pack 2015 model, which is a way more watered down version than this thing. But I had that particular brake package, but on this one you get more aggressive pads, which is a nice thing. And you can definitely feel it. You can see we come to a really quick stop right there. I almost lost my head of cabbage out of the passenger side Recaro. Speaking of Recaros, same thing, that they've been around since 2015. We just happen to have a little bit more stitching, colored stitching going around here, which is really nice. The blue stitching looks really good with the Velocity blue paint, and honestly, that's the big thing I like about this car. It looks really good. Earlier EcoBoost cars were just, you could tell that was a base Mustang. This one they put a little bit more into because they want it to look good, and really it does. This is the best looking factory EcoBoost Mustang I've seen. Check out the boat landing. Who wants to put their boat in the water? So that should be the ramp over there. Yeah. This is the Waccamaw River, and as you can see, it's flooding just a little bit. But it gives me an opportunity to show you something else. This thing has to be the easiest manual transmission to drive ever, because collision avoidance just from a car going by me here. It will hold the brake for you as you come off the clutch if you're not used to backing up or pulling up a hill from a dead stop in a manual. Ford really makes that easy now. Yeah, I'm off the brake. It just holds the brake for you. So, technology. So, how fast is it? It's not terribly fast. It's not bad. I'll put it that way. It's definitely not bad. Rated 330 horsepower, 350 pound-feet of torque. The power range is broad, which is a big plus, but it's not a Coyote. It's not a Mustang GT. It does not feel like a 480 horsepower car. It doesn't feel slow by any means. It basically feels like a base EcoBoost car with a tune in it, which is good. Is it $5,000 option good? Maybe not. So that's going to have to be sort of a determination you make on your own. Is the handling good? Yes. It's a much more grown-up car than it was 5 years ago on the S550 chassis. The real question is, would you buy this thing? And maybe we'll explore that in another video. But I mean, the handling is, it darts all over. When you make a steering change, it wants to go in that direction. It's very, very nice on how taut the steering is now. And it's everything that's working together. Ford has gotten really, really good at matching parts together. So the suspension works very well with the steering calibration, works very well with the brakes and brake pad choices, and it all goes together with this slightly hopped up engine. Makes a very nice package. It also makes a package that costs $43,000 on this particular car. If you want to see the sticker price and everything, I have it over on the full article on svtperformance.com. Definitely check that out. It's been a great car to drive though. Been averaging 25.5 miles to the gallon, which is not bad considering I've been beating on it. Did take it on like a 200-mile just road trip to check it out. I like it. I like the exhaust. I like the driving characteristics, especially in Sport Plus mode. I think that's very nice. Not too harsh. It does not, because it doesn't have the big sticky tires of like the Performance Pack Level 2 GT. It doesn't do tram lining nearly as bad, really at all. I haven't noticed it doing any at all, which may have something to do with the steering calibrations that Ford's putting in these things as well. The Torsion 355 rear differential, it seems to find traction, especially in turns. It's very, very progressive in the way it starts throwing power to both wheels in a turn. That's really nice. The one thing I really like about a Torsion differential over just a regular plate clutch style limited slip, which was what was in my EcoBoost Mustang, this is going to be exactly the same every time. Those gears in the Torsion are going to take up the exact same every time. It's very predictable. With a plate version, a clutch plate version limited slip, it can vary based on how hot it is outside, how hot your gear oil is, things like that. So there's almost imperceptible differences when going to that. So I like having the gear style, plus it's tougher and Torsion sounds cool. But this is a fun car. I really like that we have the full digital dash in this car versus the just standard gauge package. If I had an earlier car that did not have the full digital dash, I would probably look into doing the modification to add that. It can be done. It's not that difficult, not terribly expensive either. What else would I do to this thing? I would definitely tune it. It needs a bigger intercooler. It could use definitely use a bigger intercooler and a tune and a cold air intake. These things love a cold air intake, especially with a bigger turbo. And I don't think that Ford messed with the intake track really any on this car. So it could probably definitely use, seeing about 20 pounds of boost. It could probably definitely use a cold air intake. And you could definitely pick up a lot of power with a tune. We had our 2015 Mustang with just intake, exhaust, and a tune making 340 horsepower and 440 pound-feet of torque to the wheels. And that made for a nasty little combination. And really, I think my favorite thing about this car is just how balanced it feels. And all the EcoBoost Mustangs are like that. You feel it more with this one because of the taut suspension. But by having 4 less cylinders, basically half an engine over the front of the car, these feel much more balanced than a Mustang GT. You might not notice that in everyday driving, but if you start throwing these things into tight turns, especially say like a tight road course, you can feel that difference in balance. I think it's 53-47 front to rear, and it's noticeable. Is it so noticeable that I would give up half an engine, you know, versus a Coyote? No, I wouldn't. But it's a nice feature. But I think that's going to pretty much sum it up here. I don't want to go nuts with kids on bicycles and golf carts out through here. But I think I like this car. It drives really nicely. I think we'll do another video here another day or so. We'll just talk about, you know, who the buyer is for this car. You know, who's going to pay $43,000 for an EcoBoost Performance Pack Mustang, a very highly optioned base engine Mustang. So we'll explore that a little bit later on. Until then, head over to svtperformance.com. We have all these videos up on the site right now. You don't have to wait for YouTube. Have the full article up. Check out all the information, plus all the other latest news, reviews, and information on your favorite Ford performance-related vehicles. And as always, like, share, subscribe, send us your credit card number, all that kind of good stuff. Oh, crap, there goes my cabbage. See you next time.